Hey, JD, you know what's interesting about this whole season? And I've been saying it for weeks. And every week I say it, I know I'm repeating myself, but it becomes even more important. This season feels different than last year. So it's not that different, like from a records perspective. Like, yes, you've gone and won these big, massive road games for sure. Like, and that adds to the mystique. But from what was possible last year, I didn't really believe it, right? They were 7-1. Le'Veon was hurt. Well, he got hurt, at that South Carolina game. And you're thinking to yourself, this team finds ways to win games, but I just don't know. Maybe the same way Texas fans feel about their team, right? They're mathematically in it, but nobody really believes it, right? This year, I believe this team can not only get to the SEC championship game, I believe they can win it. They can go to the playoffs, and I think they can be one of the 4 best teams, if not the best team in the country. That's how it feels today. Does it feel that real to you?
I think you just hit the nail on the head, man. I think that's exactly it. And I think what we've talked about a couple of different times, you and I on this show, is just the ways in which they've done it. There's not a style of game that you're watching and waiting for and holding your breath and say, well, I don't know if someone pushes us into a shootout. I don't know if Marcel Reed and co has the juice to go. Like, no, we've seen that. Well, hey, if Marcel Reed doesn't have his best day and the gears aren't turning, it's like, no, we've seen them win a game like that too against Auburn. And so there's that part of it. There's also, to me, like the psychological part of it. Going back to last year, I said this in the preseason, with all the returning production they have back, that was a part of what happened last year, where what you just said, they're staring down the barrel of a chance to go to Atlanta, go to the college football playoff, control their own destiny, and then South Carolina happens, Auburn happens, and just it kind of shakes how it shakes. Texas game happens, I guess, was the final nail in the coffin. Having had that already happen to you before, having been in this position, swung and missed, I think that changes a team's competitive disposition, and to know what you're walking into, to feel the pressure of playoff stakes walking into November, I think that is invaluable, and that's a big reason why I think they're playing the way they're playing.
Let's say you're a college football fan, but you don't follow it that much. You follow enough to watch the games on Saturday night that are the national games, and you're watching that game. What did that game do for the A&M brand? What did it do for Coach Elko's brand? Because I feel like we've seen A&M stink it up on these national broadcasts before, and now it felt like Saturday was a celebration of what A&M should be and is trending towards becoming.
I think a lot of what you just said when it comes to the context around A&M, with how you track them. If you're a casual fan, you're still waiting for the other shoe to drop and saying, well, but it's Texas A&M. Well, but Texas A&M, wait till November, wait till they get down the stretch. I'm sure they'll blow it. If you're a casual fan that's been watching since September and you've seen what they've done against Notre Dame, all the games we spoke to before, I think you're slowly but surely starting to buy in and say what we just said a second ago. Okay, this team feels different. And the biggest differentiating factor to me for this team from what they were a year ago, outside of what we just talked about with the psychology and the weaponry, like Marcel Reed is a different dude. How he changes the entire complexion of what A&M is capable of doing. And so if I'm a casual fan, I'm watching number 10 and I'm like, was he on the team a year ago? Like, did they get him through? When did they get a Heisman caliber quarterback? Because like Johnny Manziel graduated a long time ago. Who is that dude? And so I think seeing him and what he's capable of, it's the stuff in structure he does. It's the out of structure stuff. Like, as long as number 10 is touching the football every play, I feel like we have a chance about A&M. And I think casual fans seeing him understand that's a different dude back there pulling the trigger.
I'm not disagreeing with you about Marcel, by the way, but I'm just going to provide a little bit of my thinking behind it. I think Marcel was Marcel's definitely a better version this year than he was last year. There's no doubt. And he's got some better playmakers around him to help. But to me, Marcel's legend, I may have told you this in Atlanta, but the legend of Marcel took a step back because of the last year's defense. Because Marcel did put them in positions to win so many games in the last minute. I'm just going to give you 2 quick examples. The Auburn game and also the USC game, okay? So I say that to you, it was the defense the last couple of minutes of those games that let them down. And if you add 2 more wins to Marcel's resume, you're talking about a 10-win Texas A&M team last year, including the bowl game. And we're feeling completely different about him entering this season. This year, though, he's better. He's got playmakers that give you the big play. They don't have to only rely on Le'Veon Moss. And, oh, by the way, the defense has had moments where it has struggled, but for the most part, when you lead the nation in sacks and you can get 7 against LSU and you continue to stop the run in the second half of games and outrun rush teams consistently because of the way you stop the run and the way you're able to get the run going. To me, it's like all these other things is allowing us to put this spotlight on Marcel. Does that kind of jive with your thinking?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, David, I was bought in on him a year ago when he found out at breakfast he was starting against Florida, walks into the swamp, and then just doesn't flinch. Like, I think the competitive wiring for him has always been up there with what impresses me about him, along with all the physical giftings and all those things. And so it's that coupled with another year in the system under Colin Klein. And we talked about in Atlanta as well, the way that Colin Klein puts him in position to maximize his strengths. I think one is time spent together watching tape and in practice and all those things. Also, I think it's just the unquantifiable of the fact that Colin Klein kind of plays the position the way that Marcel Reed plays the position, like mobile quarterback, design quarterback, run game stuff, understands what's going to get him in rhythm, understands what he likes, what he doesn't like. And it's one thing to sit in a room and talk about that during the week and, chalk it up. It's a completely different thing to be able to sit with somebody and say, no, I've seen what you're seeing on the field. I know what that's like to feel that pressure when the guy comes off the edge and you can get out the back door. I understand what it feels like to say, hey, maybe I got to keep my eyes downfield here, even though I know I can get to the corner. I think that relationship in itself and the progress of that is another factor that's elevated Marcel Reed. So what you're just saying, I was always bought in on the guy, but this year what he's done has been nothing short of phenomenal. He deserves all the accolades he's going to get here in the postseason.
All right, that concludes our free portion of the J.D.PicKell interview. For the rest of it, please go to TexAgs.com/subscribe and become a premium subscriber.